Hi and welcome. This is Your World, a program where we share stories from Asia-Pacific regions and around the world from the Asia-Pacific News Exchange, or AVN. I'm Safira Junior, and let's begin our first segment of Your World. From all around the world, we'll start by sharing stories on tourism sector, business and trade, among others from Indonesia, China and Vietnam.
Chair of the ASEAN Tourism Forum, or ATF 2023, Gusti Kanjeng Ratu Bendara, said the forum's first day has a significant meaning as it features a ministerial meeting and gathering for tourism and creative economy players. Indonesia has officially received the chairmanship of the ASEAN Tourism Forum, or ATF 2023, from Cambodia. Under Indonesia's chairmanship, the ATF this year is focusing on a journey to wonderful destinations, as also said in this year's theme. The ATF this year was opened last Thursday at the Jogja Expo Center in Yogyakarta, with an official ceremony along with an expo which displays products of local micro, small and medium enterprises, as well as a culinary festival. Chair of the 2023 ATF, Gusti Kanjeng Ratu Bendara, said that the first day of the forum brought very positive impacts, in which the agenda included ministerial meeting and exhibition of MSME from all over Indonesia. Also on Tuesday, Chair of the Yogyakarta Crafts Council, who is also the wife of Yogyakarta Governor, Gusti Kanjeng Ratu Hemas, said total transaction of the MSMEs reached 1.4 billion Indonesian rupiah, or about $94,000, just in a few hours after the expo was opened. She was certain that the total value will increase until the end of the forum on the 5th of February.
Products of micro, small and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, took center stage at the ASEAN Tourism Forum, or ATF, held in Yogyakarta. The Tourism Forum gave the local MSMEs a rare chance to promote their products to the world. The Indonesian government has introduced a number of programs to promote the products of micro, small and medium enterprises, such as through the 4-day ASEAN Tourism Forum, which was held in Yogyakarta until February the 5th. A large number of MSME owners took part in the MSME Expo held as part of the Tourism Forum. One of them is Sasi Shiva Urohmi, whose company produces batik using natural dyes made from mangrove fruits. Sasi Shiva acknowledged that the expo, held during the Tourism Forum, gave local MSMEs, especially producers of batik, a rare chance to promote their products to the world. In addition, Sasi said that her company had also previously taken part in a number of international events, such as those held during the G20 summit back in November last year, and other international events organized by the Ministry of Environment to promote environmentally friendly products. In addition to helping promote products of small and medium enterprises, the ASEAN Tourism Forum, hosted by the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, has also become a stage for Indonesia to show tourist destinations. The Tourism Authority of Thailand, or TAT, led a strong Thailand presence at the ASEAN Tourism Forum, or ATF 2023, which was held in Yogyakarta from February 2nd to the 5th, with the key message that Thailand is fully reopened for tourism. An array of tourist attraction services and products from around Thailand was on show, along with demonstrations on making modern and traditional Thai arts and crafts, and highlights of how upcycling of products is helping Thailand on its path towards more sustainable and responsible tourism. At the Thailand media briefing to provide an update on Thailand's tourism situation, TAT Deputy Governor for International Marketing of Asia and South Pacific, Mr. Tanis Petsuwan, said Thailand is fully reopened for tourism. This includes leveraging the kingdom's 5F soft power foundation of food, film, festival, fight and fashion, and inviting the world's travelers to enjoy new and existing tourism experiences on offer in Thailand. Then he added for 2023, the TAT expects to welcome 25 million international tourists. The target for overall tourism revenue is 2.38 trillion baht, representing a return to 80% of the pre-pandemic level seen in 2019. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati said the government has set up a portion of subsidy in the state budget that would allow micro, small and medium enterprises to pay lower interest rates for loans. Sri Mulyani said the loan scheme called Ultra Micro or UMI program enabled the government to finance MSMEs with lower interest rates. The loan program resembled the ongoing subsidized microcredit or KUR that had been running for years as well. The minister said the new program would help micro, small and medium businesses with more affordable interest rates, as they often had to take loans with high interest rates. The Ultra Micro program was launched in 2017 with the goal of giving unbankable people access to finance.
The first electronic components and integrated circuits International Trade Center of China has been officially put into operation in Beijing on Friday, expecting to boost the high-quality development of the country's electronic information industry. The operation of this International Trade Center is a landmark for establishing a unified market of China's electronic information industry and China's effort done on innovating market access models. The Trade Center is jointly built up by China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, National Development and Reform Commission, and Ministry of Commerce, providing diverse types of operation modes like user-centralized procurement, aggregated bidding, and self-service matching. The Trade Center aims to use larger transaction scale to achieve lower procurement cost and high-efficiency transactions. China established the center aiming to create a new market access platform for electronic components and integrated circuit companies and promote the integration and cluster development of upstream and downstream supply chains and industrial chains. Vietnamese enterprises are investing heavily in production technology to become part of the chain of large FDI enterprises. The improved domestic purchase rate is also one of the reasons foreign businesses are expected to increase investment and see improved business results this year. A factory in Ho Chi Minh City is expected to come into operation in the middle of this year, allowing it to participate in the production chain of Techtronic Industries, a company from the United States with a committed localization rate up to 80%. Enterprises must make in-depth investments and have enough resources and increase the management system to ensure quality and delivery schedule. JETRO's latest survey shows that nearly 60% of Japanese businesses were profitable last year, and 53% of enterprises in this country said that business results could continue to improve compared to last year. The number of businesses in Vietnam that are optimistic is high due to post-pandemic recovery, improving production efficiency, and increasing domestic purchasing power. However, pulling down product costs is still the biggest obstacle to increasing the localization rate. The health of Vietnamese economy depends on a solid supporting industry, which helps to avoid having to rely heavily on imported materials and solves bottlenecks that led to fragmented, inactive production and high production cost.
A roundtable discussion was held in cooperation with Development Strategy Center with the Copenhagen Consensus Center. The study of advanced foreign practice and exchange of experience in periodic expert analysis and evaluation of national strategic documents were discussed during the dialogue. It should be noted that future cooperation relations were agreed in November 2022 when Development Strategy Center visited Sweden. The current event was a practical result of the dialogue in Stockholm. The experts paid attention to the essence of the development strategy of New Uzbekistan for 2022 to 2026 and the analysis of the works carried in the framework of the strategy. The participants of the roundtable meeting exchanged opinions on the future cooperation. A memorandum of understanding on implementing bilateral joint projects and developing cooperation was also signed within the framework of the event. as it was noted cooperation would be beneficial for both sides. The parties agreed to carry out joint research, prepare various scientific, methodological and analytical materials related to national strategies and exchange experience.
Well, up next, we have a variety of festivals from different countries. Among others are from Saudi Arabia and about Russian culture being promoted in Tunisia. Let's have a look.
Categories of competition, and it became a high-profile spectacle after the Council of Ministers formally began to regulate it.
Spring is unanimously the most festive season in Vietnam in general, and the North in particular. The following is news in brief about different spring festivals in some localities. Tam Chuk Pagoda Festival opens in Hanam Province. The Tam Chuk Pagoda Festival kicked off in Kim Pang District in the northern province of Hanam on February 2nd, which falls on the 12th day of the first lunar month. The main ritual was a water procession from Tam Chuk Lake to Ngok Pagoda aiming to pray for favorable weather and good harvest for the agricultural residents. Tam Chuk Pagoda is an attractive destination on the journey to connect cultural and spiritual heritage, attracting large numbers of domestic and foreign tourists to Hanam. Lim Festival starts in Ba Ninh Province, dedicated to the art of Quan Ho folk singing. The Lim Festival kicked off in the northern province of Ba Ninh on February 2nd, the 12th day of the first lunar month. This year, the Lim Festival has a new space to feature Vietnamese culture and Quan Ho, a distinct form of folk singing recognized by UNESCO. Quan Ho folk songs are performed in camps, on Lim Hill, under boats, and in artisan families. In addition to the central area of Lim Hill, as in previous years, this year, Phan Tuang Lake was inaugurated and put into use, creating space to organize folk games and food festivals, Spring Festival, and Cultural Week to boost Bac Giang's tourism, a series of activities to promote the cultural values and tourism potential of the northern province of Bac Giang will be held during a Culture and Tourism Week from February 1st to 6th. The province is home to hundreds of architectural sites dating back to the Tran Dynasty and more than 2,000 historical and cultural heritage sites, especially pagodas such as Bin Nhiem, Am Phai, or Binh Long. It is expected to receive from 500,000 to 600,000 visitors to this Culture Tourism Week and has set a target of welcoming a total of 2 million tourists this year.
A 3-meter corpse flower or Amorphophallus titanum has perfectly bloomed in Jorong Sitingkai in the Palupuah district, Agam Regency of West Sumatra. In Agam Regency of West Sumatra, a giant flowering plant, or locally known as corpse flower, has bloomed in a perfect shape. The gigantic unbranched flower has a height of 3 meters and releases aroma of rotting flesh. The enormous flower is found around a plantation owned by a local community member. It reached its perfect shape last Sunday, January 29th. Plantation owner Heru said news about the flower has attracted local residents, as well as foreign visitors from Germany, to come to the location and see the rare flowering plant. Heru added the 3-meter corpse flower or Amorphophallus titanum initially grew around the slope of the plantation and was then relocated to flat ground for a better maintenance until it fully bloomed.
The Robotic Arm Control Team of the Beijing Aerospace Control Center (BACC) have been stepping up preparations for the first extravehicular activities conducted by the Shenzhou 15 astronauts. The Zhenzhou 15 crew members entered China's Tiangong space station in late November to begin their 6-month stint in space and will soon embark on their first extravehicular activities. With the robotic arms on board, the station set to be deployed as part of these key in-space assignments. The space station is equipped with 2 robotic arms, including a 10-meter-long robotic arm attached to the Tianhe core model and a smaller one on the Wentian lab model, which can carry payouts of up to 3 tons. To ensure the robotic arms can successfully play its role in assisting the astronauts' extravehicular operations, the BACC ground control team have carried out rounds of rehearsals to run through these critical in-space operational procedures by a ground simulation system. Ground specialist says the spacewalk is a demanding task, but the team is doing better. Xi Yuan, an engineer at BACC, said that the remote operation of these robot arms can be complicated as the whole robotic system has just 7 degrees of freedom, adding that the collaborative operation between astronauts and space equipment and ground system all requires a high level of precision. The robotic arm of robot system functioning in space requires control with high accuracy. It's quite challenging for the ground team, she said.
The Russian Cultural Center at the Tahir Safar Secondary Institute in Madhya introduces culture and the Russian language through a demonstration that brought together high school students and stimulated them to learn the Russian language. The Regional Delegation for Education, the Tunisian Association of Teachers of Russian Language and Literature, and the Russian Cultural Center organized a cultural event in the space of the Tahir Safar Secondary Institute through a series of artistic performances by students. Randa Al-Zayani Bosnina, president of the Tunisian Association of Russian Language Teachers, said this activity falls within the framework of introducing the Russian subject as an elective subject and the Russian culture in order to encourage students to choose it, especially since this language has opened up many horizons for students to complete their studies and obtain scholarships to complete their studies in Russia. There are those who work in the field of diplomacy, economics, commercial exchange, and translation, a beautiful language especially in the world of technology and digital.
Now we will take you to Macau and Sri Lanka. But first, let's have a stop at Bangladesh to see an interesting story there.
The schedule for the 22nd presidential election in the country is announced today, fixing the polls date on February 19th. Chief Election Commissioner Qazi Habibul Awal announced the schedule. He said on February 19th the voting will be held from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. in the Parliament complex. He said according to the schedule, the nomination papers can be submitted to the Chief Election Commission or CEC office until 4 p.m. on February 12th. Scrutiny of nomination papers will take place on February 13th from 10 a.m., while nomination papers could be withdrawn till 4 p.m. on February 14th. The president may hold office for 5 years from the date of assumption of office.
Kosovo Prime Minister Albin Kurti paid a visit to Turkey on February 3rd and met with President Erdogan. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Friday received Kosovo Prime Minister Albin Kurti and Fahrettin mentioned in Istanbul on Friday for talks and various issues. Various aspects of the Turkey-Kosovo relations were reviewed. Besides the bilateral relations, views on regional and international issues regarding the Balkans in particular were exchanged during their meeting. Turkey is ready to provide support to the dialogue process between Kosovo and Serbia for regional peace if requested, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said in a press conference. Following their meeting, they held a joint press conference.
Chinese Premier Li Keqiang met with President of the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly UNGA Korosi in Beijing on Friday. At the meeting, Li said that seeking peace and development is the common aspiration of all mankind. President Xi Jinping pointed out that China adheres to the path of multilateralism and upholds the international system with the United Nations at its core, he said. Under the current circumstances, China stands ready to work with all parties to uphold the purposes and principles of the UN Charter, international law and basic norms governing international relations and world peace and stability. China will actively support and participate in the work of the UN and jointly address global challenges, Li noted.
According to the detailed urban plan, the majority of the public housing projects will be constructed in the new urban zone Area A. The development of 8 affordable housing projects in Zone A is already underway. Hung real estate agent Che Aing Fa, head of Research and Design Department, Public Works Bureau Ao Yong Yu Kong, Vice President, Public Housing Affairs Committee Heng, is a real estate agent. He believes owning a home is always better than renting, but salary never keeps pace with home prices. Therefore, he applied for public housing in 2019, and his family was scored and ranked. He is expected to get onto the property ladder in the new urban area A very soon.
Saline intrusion in the Mekong Delta provinces in the 2023 is on par with last year's intrusion. The peak time for intrusion is February and March. The Can Hong Dam in the upper Mekong River has reduced discharge at the end of January. If the limited water discharge continues for a long time, the salinity boundary of 4GL is likely to penetrate up to 60 km upstream. It's forecasted that the salt water might enter 65 to 75 km deep into estuaries in the Mekong River from Pham Ko River in March.
The news on revenue generation from shipwrecks in Sri Lanka concludes our episode for this week. I'm Safira Junior. Thanks for watching and see you next.